Good morning and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. I'm Brian Ritz. Today I'll be walking you around the brand new 2023 Winnebago Solis 5.9 PX. So something that's a little different about this Solis PX compared to others is we do not have a pop top on it. So we'll get into that here in a few minutes, but it is a Solis PX non-pop top model. Now, when we lose the pop top, the roof of the van changes just a little bit. So while we're kind of panned out here, we'll talk about the roof. Up there, we've got 215 watts of solar. And then on the back, a Coleman Mach 10 air conditioner. That's a 13,500 BTU air conditioner. And in the front, we have a max fan with a cover on it, just for additional airflow. Now, I've said it again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Solis PX is one of my favorite vans because it is very simplistic. There's not any real complex systems here that can cause you troubles and interrupt a trip. We'll start by walking around the outside and then we'll head inside. So first, we get this nice long running board here to help us get in. Now that is fixed. It's not gonna fold in like you see in some of the other vans. Behind that, we have a 6-gallon propane tank. Right there is where we're gonna fill it. There's also an electronic valve on it. So rather than crawling underneath the van and closing off the valve when you're not using it, you just flip a switch, shuts the valve for you. The new 2023s on the new Ram Pro Master chassis got a little bit of a facelift, and we'll talk about that as we kind of go. But one, we have a new set of wheels and tires. Just a lot nicer looking wheel from the Steelies that we were getting on them originally. Coming around to the back, up on top, we have a full color HD backup camera. And then down below, we have a 2-inch receiver with a 3,500 pound towing capacity, 350 pounds of vertical weight. So your tongue weight of your trailer or bike rack can be up to 350 pounds. We have 7-pin connector, 4 trailer brakes, trailer lights. And then to the left, we have a 4-pin connector if you're just going to be using trailer lights. Go ahead and open these up just so that you can see the view from the back. So on the Solis PX, what makes it different from the 5.9P is it's about a foot longer. So this van measures out right at 21 feet long. But this back 18 inches here, we call it the gear garage. So we get the mounting tracks in there where we can do different things, different tie down methods. Whether you want to put a fork post mount for your bicycle in there or just use it as is. Comes with a couple of these tie down rings that just move very easily so that you can set them up where you want them to be. Now, with the 2 on the floor, we also get a total of 3 on each wall. So we have 6 separate tie down points standard on the Solis 5.9 PX. With that, we also get some subfloor storage over here. Just making use of all the space. Winnebago does a great job with that. To the right, we have our water manifold. So one, that's going to be an exterior hot and cold shower, as well as where we're gonna fill our freshwater tank. I really like this manifold because it's very simplistic. Basically, it has a diagram for your 4 valves. So right now it's sitting in the winterized mode, but let's say we were out dry camping. So look at the top left here, and we'll go white valve down, green valve up, red valve up, blue valve stays there, and now we're in dry camping. So that's gonna be pulling water from the tank using the water pump. And then on the doors here, we get this nice bar. Now this is kind of a dual purpose bar. One, it allows you to leave those doors open, even in the wind, so that they aren't slamming and closing on each other. And 2, it acts as a shower curtain rod if you are going to be using that exterior shower. And then last but not least, we also get the nice screen package here so we can have those doors open, letting the air in, keeping the bugs out. All LED headlights, marker lights, tail lights on the 2023 Solis. Now, one thing that differentiates the Solis 5.9 PX from the other Solis models is down underneath there, we have a 2,800 watt gasoline generator. This generator was new in 2021, kind of designed around the Solis. with a new muffler system that makes it incredibly quiet. When we're inside the van, you really can't even hear it running. Forward of that, we have a connection for our 30 amp power source. If you're in a park or it's just plugged in, or sitting outside the house, you want to plug it in, keep those batteries charged up, 30 amp power connection for that. Now, instead of our traditional black water tank, a Solis does come with a 5-gallon cassette toilet. So basically this is going to be the holding tank for your toilet. So what you're going to do when it's full, you take it out. There is wheels and a handle on the bottom side of it. You can take it out, roll it into a plumb toilet, dump it in the toilet, or your normal RV dump station. Makes life a lot easier, a lot more flexibility when using this van. Right here we have the exhaust for our Truma combi system. So Truma combi is our heat as well as hot water. That is going to use propane to fire off to create heat and hot water. Forward of that, fuel fill. Now the Winnebago Solis is built on the Ram ProMaster chassis, which is equipped with a 3.6 liter gas V6. So 24 gallons of gasoline. And then under the hood, we'll look at that 3.6 liter V6. Now, new for 2023, the Ram ProMaster does have a 9-speed automatic transmission on the back side of it. And this is a front wheel drive vehicle, so I guess it's not really on the back side of it. But 9-speed automatic transmission, trying to get up there in that fuel mileage. I would think 18, 19 miles to the gallon would be realistic out of this van. Now, while we're up front here, let's look at the stock number. The stock number for this unit is 5N221812. Again, it is a 2023 Winnebago Solis 5.9 PX non-pop top model. So let's go ahead and take a shot at the front of the van. This is kind of the facelift for 2023. New grille, new bumper design, just a lot nicer, kind of sleek looking van. And when we get inside, we'll talk about more of the stuff that changed for the 2023 model year. So here's another example of a bug screen. So again, we can have this door open, letting fresh air in and keeping the bugs out. The cool thing about this screen is it is magnetic on this side. So we can get in that way rather than having to zip it and unzip it all the time. But if we don't want it down, it does have zippers on either side. And then just roll from the bottom. And then 2 snaps up here at the top to tuck it away for storage. So super simple, nice roll left bug screen. The zippers feel really nice. All the material feels really nice. Doesn't feel like one of those cheap screens that you get in some of the trailers. And then right on the inside of the door, we have our 3 cubic foot refrigerator. I love that they mount it here so that you can access it from the outside of the coach, with a small ice chest up top. Now, looking down at the floor here, we have this nice heavy duty vinyl floor. So scratch resistant, easy to clean. We also have another exterior shower port, so if you want to spray your dogs off before you let them in, spray the kids off, you absolutely can. 2 110 volt power supplies. And then you guys can come on in. So first things first, we start in the kitchen area of the Winnebago Solis with a 2-burner gas cooktop. So remember, we have a 6-gallon propane tank underneath there. That propane tank is going to run our heat as well as this gas cooktop. Down below that, we get a little countertop extension. Just slides out from underneath the cooktop. Overhead storage for the kitchen. This cabinet here does have a shelf that is adjustable up and down as needed. Single bowl stainless steel sink, drawers, and then a nice big cabinet here. Now with that Truma Combi system, which provides us our hot water, we also get this Eco Hot right here. So basically you can think of this as a preheat valve. So let's just say we've been sitting out for a while, you know, it's a colder night, water is sitting at the top of the sink here. What we do is we turn this valve for 5 seconds. It drains all of the water that's in the lines back into the freshwater tank, and then brings hot water from the Truma Combi system up, so we have on-demand hot water. So pretty cool system there. It was new for the Solis and it works really, really well. For the kitchen, we also have two 110 volt outlets, two 12 volt USBs, and then a 12 volt cigarette lighter style power supply. And then across from the kitchen, we get our wet bath. So you're gonna see a little bit of blue stuff in here. We just winterized this unit. It showed up from the factory yesterday. But so we have the Thetford toilet. Now this is a swivel based toilet, so you can move it around as needed. Shower nozzle can go up here and mount on the wall. And then Winnebago does throw in a shower or a rod up here, so if you wanted to, you can go ahead and use this as hanging storage as well, or wet storage. But decent sized wet bath on the 2023 Solis. And then moving back, as part of additional kitchen space, we get the folding table. Now Winnebago did change this up a little bit for 2023, and they put a magnet on the bottom of it so that it doesn't rattle while you're driving. So this would make great extra prep space while you're cooking. Good place to kind of sit if it's a rainy day out. Have a lawn chair in here, sit and relax. And then the Solis PX does come standard with the Murphy bed. So that is a 77 inch long by 54 inch wide bed. Now on both sides we get opening windows with these nice privacy screens, so we can black it out if needed. Storage up above the bed. I know it's super simple and not a crazy big deal, but I love that Winnebago put magnets on the ceiling for all these cabinets to latch to. Just makes the user experience a lot more enjoyable when you're digging through here, not having to hold that up. Now, more storage here. This is going to be our blackout privacy shades. So that is for the cab so that people can't see in from the front of the van. On all of our windows back here, we have the zip up style. On the cab, we have the pop-ins. Right above my head here is the controls for that Coleman Mach 10 air conditioner. So they are just mounted on there, and you do have to either have the generator running or be plugged into an additional power source to run it. But very simple controls. Spin the dial to the preferred settings, and it does a really good job of keeping this van nice and cool. Now, one thing I like to point out about the Solis is I'm about 6 feet tall, and I can stand flat-footed in here in shoes and still have headspace. I'm not ducking as I walk in here. The only space I have to is right here where that subfloor storage is, just because it lifts up a little bit to get over that rear axle. In the 2023 Solis, both the driver and passenger seat do still swivel. So turn it around, and then once it's there, we can move it back to become part of the living space. These two chairs here do both have 3-point safety belts. And then with that, we can set up a table in front of them. So the table actually has built-in mounting points back here for storage. So decent sized table here. Now right next to those chairs, we do have two 12 volt USBs, two 110 volt outlets, so your passengers can have power available to them as well. And then more storage up above. Now before we get into the cab of the 2023 Solis, right here we've got our Winnebago One Place. So all of our controls for this van are conveniently located right here, right after you walk in the door. So controls for our Truma Combi system. So first emblem here is going to be the heat. Very simple, click on it and then just move it up and down as needed. Next one is going to be heat or hot water. So there's 3 different modes here. We have Eco, which is kind of just maintaining hot water, Hot, which is your normal mode, and then Boost. If you just get to your campground, you want to take a quick shower, you need hot water, you click that on, it'll warm up the water very rapidly. And then Fan, So with that Truman Combi, there is a fan built into it. We can turn it on and just run it without heat, you know, just keep air circulating. Here, start and stop for our generator, water pump on and off, and then our tank levels. So propane and gray tank, and then battery. Now, the freshwater tank on the Winnebago Solis is 20 gallons, and the gray tank is 20 gallons as well. And then we have the 5-gallon cassette for the black water. Holding tank heater switch, so if I turn that on, it's actually heat strips on my gray water tank. Keeps me out in the cold weather a little bit longer. Keeps it from freezing up. The Xantrex solar controller for that solar on the roof. Really not a whole lot you need to do with that. And then an additional LP valve to turn on and off your propane tank. Now, as we walk into the cab, Winnebago does give us this nice storage area up above. And then we'll sit down. Now, this is the new 2023 cab for the Winnebago Solis. So first things first, the steering wheel got a lot nicer. You know, it's starting to feel like more of a luxury van rather than a utility van. So cruise control on the steering wheel, dash controls here. And then over on the left side, we do now have a electronic parking brake. It's gonna be right there. On the doors, we have power adjusting mirrors. Now, what's kind of weird, or not weird, but cool about the Winnebago Solis or the Ram ProMaster chassis is your lower mirror is also adjustable via power. Usually it's just the top mirror, even in the big Class A's, but in here we get power adjusting bottom mirrors as well. Power windows. Over to the right side here, nice big display there. Now that is AM, FM, Bluetooth, Sirius XM, and Apple CarPlay or Android Auto compatible. It also has a nice navigation. Now, if you remember in the 22 Solises, this was just a tiny 4-inch screen, so that is a huge upgrade right there. All of our controls have finally met the 21st century for our HVAC, and then down below we do get wireless charging. Now up top here, we also have a dedicated camera. So that is just acting as my rearview mirror. If I flip it off, it actually just goes back to my rearview mirror. But dedicated camera, and now when I put it in reverse, which is not gonna let me because I have this chair swiveled. 1 second. Safety feature there. There we go. When I put it in reverse, that camera actually angles down a little bit so you can see the ground behind you. Now, new for 2023, we also get this huge camera screen, or the huge screen in the middle with some additional cameras. So right now, we're looking at rear view as well as 360. We can go to straight rear view, front view with 360, and then straight out the back in a full screen mode. So great safety feature there. We've also added a USB port and a USB-C port for additional power in the cab, and we still get our 12-volt receptacle there. So great upgrade here. The other thing they did is they did put leather seats in it. In 2021, we did not have leather seats in a Solis. Or 2022, I should say. And I think that's pretty much going to do it, guys. If you have any questions about this unit, please feel free to give me a call. Again, my name is Brian Moritz. I'm with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. My phone number is 303-482-6375. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you later.